And we're live.
What?
I don't hear the there.
I was like, what happened?
Welcome.
We have like 4 people tonight.
I did this.
know,
I did
so
this.
Welcome everyone. This is episode 190.
Okay, that's good. That's
7? Yes, I think.
Okay. 197 or 198. I can't remember. We've
I
lost
don't
count.
remember. But welcome anyway. We're here. We're drinking beer, and we're telling you what we think about it. And then we'll probably
That's
talk about
awesome.
the crap.
We're here. We're drinking beer.
What beer? Who
That's
says
awesome. That's like an awesome catchphrase. We're here. We're drinking beer.
We're here, and
We're here.
beer.
We're drinking
Welcome
beer.
to the Crafty boys on their quest to destroy the craft. Actually, not destroy. That's a strong word. We want to partner with the Crafty girls.
Oh,
So
yeah.
anyway, this week's beer, whatever episode this is, because I just don't remember. I think it's 197. Is the Red Arrow beer that Locke is supposed to be holding up, so that
just holding up.
Just put it right there. And it's a there this way. A Heritage River Hefeweizen.
Is it focusing? Is it?
It's fine. Yeah, it doesn't matter. You know what? Honestly, it doesn't matter because Dave has his beer this week, so that makes all 3 of us having the same beer. Well done, boys. We're totally on our way to being professional
first time in months.
podcaster types.
Yeah.
So
Let's
I want you guys
practice.
to let's drink this stuff. Let's get into
All
it.
right.
Alan, tell us all about this beer.
Okay, so this is from Red Arrow Brewing, which is located in Duncan, British Columbia. They brewed this beer in honor of the Cowichan River, which is in that neck of the woods, which is apparently, and I didn't realize this, is a Canadian heritage river.
Really?
Yeah. So people go tubing on it. It's quite a going concern, and so they created this beer and named it after basically the Cowichan River.
You know what's really funny is the sentence, this is a heritage river protected by the Canadian government, and people go tubing on it.
I know, right?
Somehow didn't like, go together in my mind somehow. Like it seemed that there was some sort of disconnect in the universe. Please
Welcome to
pause,
BC,
everybody,
where
while
we
we pour properly on
Respect
this
our
end.
waters.
Okay, so
Dave, show us the color.
before we start drinking it, Locke, could you educate us a little bit on what a Hefeweizen actually is?
Right. So a Hefeweizen is a wheat beer.
Okay.
German style. It's tends to be sort of crisp and refreshing. It's not like a Dunkelweizen or one of these sort of thicker, sort of maltier, higher alcohol numbers. This is a summer drinking beer. This is something that's meant to quench the thirst. It's quaffable if it's done properly.
Just like when I brew at home, it has to be quaffable, and I have to like it. So that's what I
and
know.
that is a tasty brew.
Would you consider a Hefeweizen to be a session beer? Traditionally,
I consider most beers, including triples, to be session beers, but that's me.
That is you were shocked. You seemed shocked.
It's fucking delicious.
Yeah,
it is.
wow.
It's incredible.
This is a really good Hefeweizen. Here's the thing. I don't remember the last time that I had this style of beer and drank it right away and then said, "Oh."
Let me put it to you this way.
Surprised. Why are we surprised? What have we drank?
Let me put it to you this way. When I just tasted this, I didn't just take a sip. I took like 5 gulps.
Dave,
Quaffable.
Dave, your instant review. Go. Dave, tell us all about it. Don't hold back. No, I didn't want you to. I want you to tell us, not show us. I want you to tell, don't show.
Speak.
Quaffable.
Quaffable. See,
The power of pouring.
All right, here you go. Clink. Get your glass back up there. Clink. There we go.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
So I would say
Okay,
that
well,
this
well
one
done.
is a winner, isn't it?
It really is.
So well
Yeah.
done to Red Arrow. Red Arrow, I think we've done a couple of their beers over
We
the
have.
years. Sadly, I don't remember off the top of my head what they were.
Well, one of them was the Sweet Leaf IPA, which
okay,
in
I do remember that one.
in my opinion, is, I mean, what?
We were going into music. Continue.
The Sweet Leaf IPA, which in my opinion is one of the better IPAs that's available. Not quite as good as Fat Tug, but it's close.
Yeah, we've only had like maybe 3 beers that have almost hit the Fat Tug bar, but not.
To me, Sweet Leaf is one of those.
What do you guys know about Red Arrow?
What do we know about Red Arrow?
Duncan.
Yes.
They're in Duncan. Just off of the highway, actually, if you ever get a chance to go up there to their establishment, it's awesome. They've got a nice little outdoor patio. There's usually a food truck in the parking lot, especially in the summer. Lots of stuff for sale in there. You can have your growler filled t-shirts, all kinds of merch. It's a really fine establishment.
I don't think I've ever been there. And
I highly recommend it.
Dave, have you been to Red Arrow on your travels up and down the island of awesome?
Unfortunately, no, because they're a little south of my standard route these days. However,
yeah, Dave,
I have driven by Wolf.
You were in Victoria recently, where you didn't, while being in Victoria, buy your tickets to Beer Fest, but you were there. Did you? I should ask. Did you come straight over from? Did you go from Courtney to the mainland and then to Victoria, or did you drive up and down the island, or how?
Drove up and down. Yeah.
So basically, you're proving my point. You drove right past Red Arrow, passing through.
Yeah, actually, you do.
All the lights.
If you took the highway, you drove right past it.
Yes.
Dave, you're
now I
getting
remember.
thin, sir. Getting thin.
I do remember now.
I do remember now. As I drove by with my girl past the Red Arrow Brewery, I flipped the brewery the "not today" look as you glanced by.
Yes. Well,
Dave,
I was not getting that vibe that Alan is describing.
You know, for somebody who's high, his knowledge is incredibly high in Eastern philosophies. He's really not aware of his surroundings at any time. He's not present in the moment.
Mindfulness, Dave. Mindfulness.
Yes, Dave. I got to say, your mindfulness work has really got to improve. Because if I blew through Duncan, I would pause for a moment to go, "Hey, Red Arrow, I'm going to pause right now and get into your parking lot and maybe go inside and buy something of your product and then move on." Even if I didn't want to hang around in Duncan, which.
But who knew?
We won't go there.
I had no idea who these guys were. This is fantastic, though.
I didn't know.
I could drink 3 of these right now.
How would I know?
I did
like
not
without any problem.
No knowledge of Red Arrow. We might have mentioned it when you've been around, but I don't know.
No. Look, I mean, I've been down in the wilds of Oregon for the last 3 years, so I've been distracted by other things. But this is.
And one could argue that Oregon is beer mecca.
Did we read the label yet? Did you do that, Alan?
Go ahead.
Take the plunge and dive into our heritage river Hefeweizen, brewed with a traditional Weihenstephan yeast strain. Okay, sure. I don't know how to pronounce that. This beer is full of Satsuma orange and citrus flavors, followed by a subtle aroma of pink bubblegum. Really? And clove. Actually, okay, I can taste that. This beer is unfiltered to retain a full flavored profile. Some sediment is normal. Now, bubblegum, you guys get any bubblegum in this?
No. If somebody walked in with bubblegum and cloves, I would probably say you go ahead and you drink that on your own.
I think I maybe I'm getting a hint of cloves, but definitely not bubblegum. I think that the bubblegum is probably coming from the sweetness that is very subtle.
I think what we have here is people who are better at brewing than they are at writing.
That's true. Which reminds me, I have a bone to pick with the people that own Bomber Brewing now. They rebranded Bomber Brewing recently, and it is absolutely horrible.
Is it still called Bomber
like
Brewing?
Marketers don't. The people that own it now and the marketers that were tasked with. I mean, I can't blame the people that made the logo, assuming it was an outside source. Somebody hired to do it. If you know
Why
anything
not?
about Bomber Brewing started because it was a bunch of dudes that got together to play hockey, and one of them happened to be a home brewer. And they, as time went on, they said, this beer that you're making is really, really good, and it might actually be something that we could sell. And so these guys who played just casual hockey on a regular basis, like weekly or something, from what I remember, got bought out by Donnelly Group or somebody with a lot of money that owns a bunch of different breweries and restaurants. And they've now rebranded, and they've completely ditched we're a bunch of guys who started a brewery and we played hockey together feel to this dive bomb horribleness that looks like somebody ripped off or looked at like 5 different logos for different industries.
The problem is it looks like it was done on a 1988 version of Corel Draw.
That's actually, that it does have that feel to it.
I think I saw this. Is it sort of like that?
You guys,
like that
go to
bird?
Bomber Brewing's website right now, and you'll, because we've done Bomber Brewing's beer periodically over a while, but since we started, but God, I can't even you can't even find their damn website. Here it is. So open it up, and on their Facebook page, people, including myself, actually made a negative comment, which I don't normally do, but I had to in this case.
It's like somebody was drawing a bird if they've never seen a bird before.
Yeah, it's so incredibly just. It's bizarre, and there's been quite the conversation going on their Facebook page. Anyway, my comment was something like, "Can you get your money back?" Because, I mean, what? Like, what's going on? It's terrible. Like it is removed the feel for the brewery entirely. Like, we of course have all seen breweries get eaten up by larger companies over the years and but the breweries they retain their identity, why they were founded in the first place. To me, in my mind, Bomber was set up by a bunch of friends that played hockey together and decided to sell beer.
Well, look, like their ad copy still says that, Shane.
Hashtag super modest beer, not with that logo. But the point is, the people on the Facebook page actually compared it to the rebranding of the Vancouver Island Brewery back in the day. So, yeah,
you know what it looks like. Remember, what was that school bus company? It kind of looks like that logo for that school bus company.
That school bus company, yeah. All those school bus companies that we used to watch, like, and I was a huge fan of school bus companies back in the day. But there's this one that totally.
What?
This website is just a piece of junk. Like, I'm sorry. I'm. This is. I don't know what happened. Something here went wrong.
But do nothing at all, and your product looks fine, and then instead you're going to do that. I mean, what the? Hey, the dudes that own it right now, I'm sure they decided to do it for whatever reason, but the reality is,
money, lots and lots of money.
Yeah, that's so sad. It's like when those. Actually, I have been watching recently because next Tuesday, some people in our building are.
Yeah, but if they were into money, wouldn't they make a product look like you would buy it?
Well, exactly. We're going to see the latest spin-off or the latest film in the Fast and Furious franchise. I've never watched these films before, really, at least in memory. So over the last week or so, I've been digging into these and watching them, and the whole thing is, this to me feels like you can have any beer you want as long as it's a Corona, because you don't want to drink these beers anymore. The identity has been stripped away, is gone. You just don't feel like this is what it should be. And the reason I point out these films is that the whole core of these films, as according to the dialogue, is the world is about family. The word family gets like hammered over your head constantly. This to me is like somebody got a divorce, broke up the family,
I think
and then moved everyone into the sticks.
Shane,
you know?
I honestly think you're too much in the weeds here.
Really?
It's just it looks like somebody failed to use Corel Draw 25 years ago.
And they've gotten rid of a whole bunch of their beer too. Their ESB is gone. Their core products, their products are gone.
The extent of their brand identity right now is that they have a badly shapen non-bird on a can with Arial, just plain Arial, telling you what the product is, and Arial stretched out to the side like you turned it into vectors and then stretched it without any taste for
you know what it looks like to me.
Basic.
It looks like to me that the company has like a friend of a friend or something whose 13-year-old knows how to make websites.
Friends don't do that to each other.
No, I have to say I don't know why. I mean, the sad part is I just happened to drive by yesterday, and they've already rebranded the entire building. It's like they did the building first.
Evidently, somebody looked at that and went, "Yep, okay, we'll put that. We'll spend the money to put that on an outdoor sign."
Yeah,
I don't know. This
really?
To me, I mean, the chances are they'll survive quite happily and everything will be fine. But if you really want to kill a brand that's been around for quite a few years, this is what you do.
Realistically, Shane, their stand-up product was the ESB.
It's gone. It's entirely gone.
It's not there anymore?
No, that's what I was saying. The ESB is gone.
What?
There's no more Bomber ESB. This is my point. It's not just the look of the thing. It's not just the feel of their brand. It's like they're trying to eradicate whoever
maybe that's what's going on.
Yeah, but do you at the
buy out the competition, sink them?
So you think they're purposely trying to destroy the company?
Maybe. I mean, I don't.
Why would they buy it then? That makes no sense.
I don't know. Maybe this
die vicious bug.
It's
I don't know.
Russians.
I'm sad to learn this day, and I'm
okay. Shane, do me a favor. Look up Bluebird Bus.
Blue.
Not spelled that way.
Yeah, totally.
Bluebird Bus. Oh wow, you're right. Yeah, look at that logo. Actually, I think on the Facebook page somebody did mention that. Heck, let me find it here.
To be fair, the Bluebird Bus logo is better drafted.
Mm-hmm.
Like I am so sad. Like I am just like I don't know. I don't. So here, let's see. If do you recommend Bomber Brewing? No. How could Bomber Brewing improve? Rehire the previous team. There, done. Post. Make it public. Yes. So let me just find this is the conversation that's been happening on their page. I'm hoping they haven't been jackasses and have removed it, but it looks like they haven't. So here's what I wrote. Please tell me you can get your money back. Holy hell, who approved this? Hashtag logo sucks. Hashtag oh my. Hashtag yikes. But here's what other people have said. Pretty similar to a competitor's Blue Bird logo, which is another brewery, I gather. Somebody compared it to the Twitter bird.
How is it similar?
Rebrand fail.
All the other logos in this category actually look like birds.
Say no to the Donnelly Group. The worst choices out of any corporate brand. Fixing the ain't broken. It's still better than being bought by and owned by a foreign macro beer corporation.
See, I'm sympathetic to Donnelly Group for the simple fact that they saved the Railway Club. But, at the same time, if they were responsible for this, what happened?
The Donnelly Group buys up institutions in Vancouver and revamps them to their own image, which doesn't say much. I'm tired of losing the only cool stuff in the city. What would a foreign-controlled corporation do in comparison? Who knows? Yeah, there's been a lot of people that just do not like this, but of course, my favorite is abort. Here we go. Here you go. So not quite a train wreck, but a school bus disaster, which somebody actually brought up the blue bus logo.
Bluebird logo.
That's right, the Bluebird.
But as I said, the Bluebird logo looks fine. The Bluebird logo is a totally acceptable logo. It doesn't look like it was done by Corel with an amateur at the helm, 25 years ago.
But here's the thing also is that Bomber Brewing is about hockey in my mind. That's what I attach it to. It's not about a bird diving out of the sky. And also, I would never, ever, professionally, I would never recommend a client try to
rebranding is a dicey proposition.
Would never have a logo diving into the ground, because to me that says right away we're going out of business. We're trying to drive ourselves.
Point. That is an excellent point.
Yeah. So sorry, I just noticed that Polar Knights is making a few comments here. I like that beard. Oh, why? Who? Which? Locke, show you off your beard there. I don't know who's talking about. I think it's yours.
I hope so.
Try to get a beard, but my girlfriend told me if I get a beard, she grows a 70s bush. And after Googling and seeing what sadly can't be unseen baby face it is for me, one day, I have no argument against any of that. I think I fully support the 70% I understood. So there we go. Actually, that's not true, but so true. So yeah, I don't know. I just a logo diving into the ground to me never is a positive thing. To me it's some sort of subconscious thing about the bird is dying and or it's gonna try to dive into the ground and then it will just the sudden stop will.
Here's the thing. It's called Bomber. And
I know why they chose it.
But no. What kind of bird? Assuming that's a bird, if that's a bird.
Yeah, that's true. We can't tell if it's a bird.
If it's a bird.
Kingfisher.
A kingfisher, you think?
No. It's not a kingfisher, but that's a bomber. That's a bomber.
What's a bomber?
A kingfisher.
Bummer.
It's a bummer. Yeah, I don't know. I just think that
bomber.
It's like this company has tried way too hard to. Well done. Oh, the sound from the Family Feud. Was that what that was?
Oh, that was from Price is Right.
Price is Right. So the Family Feud one also.
Let's play it again. Let's play it again.
Yeah, it's that first little bit. That doo 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 doo. So here's what somebody said here. I get the symmetry and the connection of the lines, but the look of it is far too much like the Bluebird school buses. As a species, are you really trying to suggest a gull? East Vancouver is best known for its crows and ravens. The raven particularly has significance for a lot of East Van residents, though it is not known for bombing as crows are. What was wrong with the previous logo? It was recognizable. That's my whole argument.
Legible.
Could be illegible and could be interpreted in a variety of ways. The Raymond Loewy style font is a classic style that was adopted by many sports teams, the whole hockey connection, but was also part of the public consciousness in the 40s and 50s. That leads to how the old Bomber logo could have been adapted, but it came from a hockey team. There is no need to limit it. With the roundel and the wing-like rays on either side, it vaguely resembles the markings of a World War II bomber. That suggestion implies all kinds of great names for different brews. It could lead to a nose cone pinup art. Look at Central City's Betty character. It could refer to beers and therefore bombers from various countries. Using the crow idea, there are all kinds of references that could be made of how crows dive bomb people when they don't like and befriend others. That is woven right into the life of East Van. If you really must rebrand, it is never a good idea to take the scorched earth policy, which is exactly what they've done. The original bomber logo has what every business wants and needs, an instantly recognizable style and appearance. The school bus type logo is clean, and I can appreciate that, but it is too much of a departure from a good design principle. Most important, the logo has to say something. It is a tough thing to design, and when you get there, you should always be careful with how you alter it. If you really must go, whoa, I spilled beer. No, I spilled beer. No, I can't spill beer. I spilled beer. So essentially, if you really must go for the bird thing, it really needs to take on a more Corvid look. Crows are, after all, smart, quirky, funny, and seriously badass. Isn't it more of the appeal you're looking for? I'm actually going to like that particular comment because that is exactly what I'm talking about, where the scorched earth idea of the scorched earth idea is definitely a wrong way to go, and I don't know why they did it. Just hold it. Locke, what do you think?
Well, yes. I still don't think it even looks like a bird. I think it looks like a vector art mistake.
A vector art mistake that went awry somewhere in the laboratory.
Well, I don't know how anybody in this day and age could execute branding like that and not get sued.
Well, the problem is they own it, so who's going to sue them?
So,
right?
so if it's all right, if this was an all in-house project, then I got to suppose that there's some nepotism involved. I don't know how else to explain incompetence like that. It looks fucking terrible.
It does look terrible. I'm sure that they'll never change it, and it's fine in their eyes. Blah de blah de blah. But I don't get why they changed it in the first place. Bomber's been around long enough, as that quote on the Facebook page says. They've been around. They're recognizable.
No, I've got a deeper question. Why did they get rid of the ESB? It was their standout product.
I don't know. They've replaced it with Park Life, which is a very an oak.
Whoa. Okay.
So we ended the stream, didn't we?
No, it's coming back up.
Okay.
I'll have to fix that later. I hit a button on my mouse because I spilled beer all over my mouse. So that's what happens when you spill beer on your mouse. You accidentally kill your stream. Anyway, we were lambasting the new logo and whatnot from Bomber, but let's talk about something positive about this beer.
Back to Heritage River. This is one of the best tasting Hefeweizens I've had in bloody ages. It's kind of it's like somebody went with a classic Hef and took some learning from some of these sort of the northeast style IPAs. They didn't reinvent the Hefeweizen. They didn't change the style, but they picked up certain.
They just made it better.
Yeah, it's the balance on this is
incredible.
Outstanding. Yeah.
Now it's not available year round. It's only available for a short time in the summer. So I highly recommend going out and getting it. It is available at BC liquor stores, so it should be available right throughout the province, I would say.
I would assume it is. I mean, there's definitely. One hopes that it has popularity, but maybe not.
And if you are on Vancouver Island, I highly recommend going in and stopping in at Red Arrow Brewing. If you get a chance, have a flight or two, as the case may be.
I wouldn't mind trying some of their other products because they've never disappointed us, and this particularly has raised the bar for the type of beer they make.
Well, I'll tell you what. Next time you're here, we'll take a drive up to Duncan. We'll go to the brewery.
We'll take a drive up to Duncan and we'll go to the brewery. that was the best pause ever. Like, we'll go to the brewery. So, other than that, I think we should finish off on a positive note after all of our Bomber Brewing discussion. Dave, you're going to Beer Fest, right?
I thought we were going to end this positively.
I already have my tickets, and my sister's going.
Yes.
Both of my parents are going.
This has been mentioned.
Just making sure you're going to go.
Yeah.
It's a month away. Month and a bit, actually. A month and a week. So that's 5 weeks. I assume you're going to be
Let me
there.
put it to you this way, Dave. I'm going, and that's my wedding anniversary.
That's right.
And I'm going.
So, Dave, if you you don't go, there's going to be consequences.
Get a rope.
You know, Alan, I'm not going to touch that one.
Yeah, don't touch me. Ew.
That one.
Gross.
Not
I don't
you.
know why you're touching him at all. I mean,
That
kind of
one.
awful.
This has nothing to do with your body.
Okay.
Locke, are you going?
I'm actually seriously contemplating it. We will see. I need to find out A, what my schedule is, B, how much money I have. But
And if he, by the way, Dave, if he goes, I just want to really, really hammer this home. He'll be coming from Toronto, which is way farther than that.
It's like
you live in.
It's like 3 times farther.
3 times farther.
It's
like you had to travel from Kitimat in a plane, or maybe even Terrace.
Yeah.
Whoa.
So, on that note, we've ridiculed Dave enough, and I think we'll bring this episode to a close because
Hey, before we sign off entirely, do you guys ever feel like with this new setup that you're kind of like the Brady Bunch?
Sorry, what?
Do you ever feel like we're the Brady Bunch? Like,
hang on.
There's
Sorry, what's
Shane
going
up
on?
there.
What, Alan? Hey, Dave.
Hi,
What did you say,
Dave.
Dave? It
Dave?
is kind of.
We just need Alice in the middle.
I'll add her in post.
Oh,
But anyway, thank you
Dave's
all
over
for
here.
checking us out, making sure that you spread the word because, hey, we're the only streamers on the planet that turn off their stream halfway through and then turn it back on. So, I got to say,
Pro level.
We are
Pro level.
absolute pros. But definitely, Locke, thank you again for being here 2 weeks in a row. And sadly, you won't be here next week, but that's okay. What is the beer for next week? We don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll let you know and tune in to figure that or find out. What did I just say? I don't
you need to
remember.
figure that out.
So, bye, everybody.